Okay. Good afternoon, Hannah. Welcome to MS Warriors podcast. And just tell me about yourself. Uh, basically, just introduce yourself. Like when were you diagnosed? Your journey, basically.
Hi Lee, hi everyone
Right.
listening. I am Hannah Webster. I was diagnosed with MS last February, so 2020. Bit of a shock. Uh, Went to the
Mm.
neurologist, not expecting to have anything like that diagnosis for the, for what I went for, and he said in February last year, clear signs of MS. So massive shock. The only reason I thought that I should go and see someone was because I did a lot of marathons. I've done 11 marathons, and at the end of I think the London Marathon about 2 years ago, I kind of lost control of
Mm.
my legs, but stubborn. I'm going to carry on, blah blah blah. I was right at the end, and it was a really hot day. Despite not being
Yeah.
able to feel my legs, or they turned to jelly, you had to carry
Yeah.
on. And I was worried, but I didn't think too much of it. Came back after sort of 10 minutes, something like that, and
Mm.
yeah, and I just thought it was pretty hot. I just ran a marathon. I'm getting a little bit older. Maybe that's what
Yeah.
happens, kind of thing. So that was probably the first sign I
Yeah.
had 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember now, but
Did they tell you what that was called? Like what they call that?
well, jelly legs. I went to the doctor.
Yeah, it's actually called UTOX phenomenon.
Oh, is
Basically,
it?
yeah, I used to train a lot, and it's when you overheat, you just overheat. You could be
Ah,
running or whatever, and then all your functions just shut down. It could be fatigue, it could be your
yeah,
mobility, it could be a number of things, but it will just suddenly change. And
yeah,
like you're saying, you're in a marathon, it just happens then.
yeah.
So
Oh no,
I
yeah.
take it this is somewhere near London, and it's London Marathon, yeah?
Yeah, it was the London Marathon. Yeah, so
Yeah.
and I've done 11 marathons. So it
Mm.
it it kind of first started happening after the full marathon, and then it kind of got a little
Yeah.
bit more regular, and then happened after a couple of half
Yeah.
marathons, and then
Right.
and even if I in a park run, sort of, I said to
Mm.
one of the guys that had finished, I was like, oh, my legs really feel like jelly. Do yours? And he was like,
Yeah.
no. But
Mm-hmm.
I went to the doctor. Of course, they put it down to having a really stressful job,
Mm.
not resting enough,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it really. Again,
Yeah.
I didn't really think too much of it because just sporty, and
Yeah.
I did train quite a lot, so I was thinking maybe I do need to
Mm.
rest a little bit more, and I
Yeah.
travelled loads, constantly on
Mm.
a flight, or
Yeah.
being stressed with the 12-hour days and kind of things. So yeah, it
Mm.
wasn't until actually I did the Basingstoke half in
Mm.
October 2000, so it was like October 2019, that it was like really kind of, I got literally at the end and I dived over running, really like there's something wrong.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Unnerved. Yeah.
That's
Did
when
you
I
did
went
you
to the
did you fall? Did you actually fall?
I
Yeah.
literally dived over the
Oh,
line.
so you
So
did it on purpose, yeah.
yeah,
So,
I was my leg was so bad, but
mm,
yeah, and then it kind of started happening in CrossFit and doing box jumps and skipping. I was losing
mm,
balance and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff, and then yeah, I went to a physio, and the physio
mm,
he said this isn't a physio issue. I suggest you go and see a
right,
neurologist. So
mm-hmm,
that was in sort of October, November 2019, which, and actually
yeah,
I went to see the neurologist, and I actually said MS fleetingly, and he said, oh no, 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 it's very, very unlikely. So I put it out of my mind completely. And
mm,
so when he then sent me to have a spine MRI, then I got a letter in the post saying I needed a
yeah,
brain MRI. Then I went back in to
yeah,
see him in February 2020, and he said, "Yeah, MS," and I was kind of thinking,
Yeah.
"Well, you said it wasn't going to be MS," and I was
Yeah.
in shock, and it's
Mm.
and still probably a little bit in shock. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's been a bit of
Of course.
a world, obviously, with the
Mm.
pandemic then hitting after I was diagnosed. It's all been a little bit surreal the last year and a half,
Yeah.
but anyway, we are where we are. At least I kind of have a diagnosis, and I can kind of do something.
You know what it is. You know what it is, and
I
you
know
know
what it
what you
is.
need to do.
I know it's not
That must have
getting
been.
old.
I think I've said before, in I think a YouTube thing, but it's uh, with me and training as well. I didn't necessarily not in front of people. I didn't fall over in front of them, but I fell over. Because I used to go jogging on my own,
Yeah,
and I fell in the street. Of course, nobody bothered me because
yeah,
it's just they
yeah,
don't. But yeah, they did. That happened, and I thought, what's that about? And that's when I got like you just did, and you went to get it sorted out. So something's wrong, and it
yeah,
is. And they said, oh, maybe I've got vertigo, and I
yeah,
said, no, no, it's not that. It's vertigo. So they give me these exercises. So okay, I'll do these exercises, but I'll still come back and say there's something wrong. So I did. Uh,
yeah.
and it's okay. So they referred me to a hospital, and um, basically they give me all the tests or whatever, and then asked me for a lumbar puncture. I
Hmm.
didn't know what that was at first, but I'm glad they didn't say what it is. Like, but
Yeah.
but I was freaking out over it. But I had it, and many people say they did have adverse reactions to it, and it was painful. But
Hmm.
me personally, I didn't feel anything. Maybe the nurse was that good.
Yeah.
Um, did you have a lumbar puncture?
No, I haven't had one. No.
Uh,
No.
okay, so usually they need that to make the final diagnosis. But if they give you a
Oh,
diagnosis without that, must have
yeah.
seen lesions.
Yeah.
When
They
you had the
saw.
MRI, they must have been able to
Yeah.
see the lesions, and that's what it is.
And in the
Um,
tunnel. Yeah.
yeah. So, are you still training now?
Oh,
How
yes. So,
how's your
so
mobility now?
honestly, I mean, it's quite shit. Oh, sorry, excuse my language there, but
No.
I do the best that I can. I still go to
Yeah.
CrossFit every day,
Yeah.
probably
Mm,
just it helps me loads.
yeah.
There's just certain things I can't do. Box jumps, I won't even risk it because I just fall
Yeah.
over completely on it,
Mm,
and lunges not so good. Skipping, I just
mm,
don't. I mean, I do a little bit, but when I'm hot, I get hot, and everything gets a little bit more unbalanced. I kind of know I need to chill out,
yeah.
and I know the MS nurse always says to me, you need to rest. If you're working out, just have a minute
Mm,
every couple of minutes to just
yeah.
chill. Don't let yourself get
Yeah.
to the stage where
Yeah.
you're losing your legs. But it is hard mentally.
Mm, of
I'm
course
so
it is.
used to wanting to push
Because
myself.
your head is telling you you can do this, but
Yeah,
your
yeah.
body's saying nah, nah, you can't. But
Annoying, damn
mm,
body. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm still training, and I really enjoy it still. And obviously,
Yeah.
you can go two ways. Like, I guess you can just think, oh, I've got this thing, I'm not going to be able to do anything else, or just carry on and do the best. And I mean, it's hard for
Yeah.
me to get that good, that right balance, because I'm so used to
Mm.
going 100 miles an hour, and
Do you
you know,
think because you're so active or because of your training, it's actually slowed it down a little bit? So maybe you would have been worse if you hadn't
yeah.
been training. So,
Well, I honestly don't think I would have found I've got it if I
well,
hadn't
okay.
have been
Yeah.
running. So it might have been
Yeah.
another 10 years down the line when I was just
Yeah, of
walking that I
course.
might have found it out. But it was running, yeah, that I definitely
Mm.
knew that there was something wrong
Yeah, yeah,
with the way
yeah.
my balance and legs were going on. And I look back now, and all of the little things, like my vision sometimes when I had optic neurosis last year, and
Yeah.
obviously the bladder issues, and all of that, I kind of like before I was diagnosed, I was again. That's me getting older, but
Mm.
I look back and go, right, okay, well, it all makes sense now. Kind of all these
Yeah,
things,
of course.
the sleep,
Yeah.
the anxiety, the
Yeah,
tiredness
because
of the.
you didn't know what it was,
No, I didn't
so
know it was
therefore your
anything.
anxiety kick in, say, oh, I've
Yeah,
got cancer, I've got a number
yeah,
of different illnesses, and you kind of make it up for yourself, and
yeah,
I can
exactly.
understand that.
Yeah,
You
and
just you want an answer, so
yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
I guess before I was diagnosed.
it's not the right terminology maybe, but you do have an element of relief when you finally get a diagnosis.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you do definitely, and I kind
yeah,
of think, oh right, that's why I was tired at 8 o'clock at night or something.
mm,
That's so. Well, that's why I went for a wee like 10 times in 2 hours or something. So
mm,
yeah,
yeah,
lots of little things like that, and just very stressful job. Kind of,
yeah,
I've had to sort of away from that a little bit, and we've since now moved from Basingstoke in Hampshire to Pembrokeshire. So
right,
this is something that would never would have happened if it wasn't for MS. So both my
yeah,
husband and I can work from home. My mum lives in West, which is about half an hour from where we live now.
mm,
We just escape the rat race and the stress
yeah.
of life.
Well, that'd be stressful in itself. Just being in
Yeah,
like middle of
um,
London, the rat rate.
yeah,
I used to work in London. It was horrible,
yeah.
but
I know.
you know, I live in Manchester now, but I don't work in the city. I couldn't work in
Yeah.
the city again. It's not the stress of the city is just too much.
Yeah,
So,
too much. And I was
mm,
going for day trips to Germany or like that with my
yeah,
job, and like, I mean, I was doing it for so long now. It's kind of like, right, okay, now's the time to sort of backtrack and live for the
yeah.
day. We thought, and
Do you
with
think your diagnosis has affect your decision for the future? Like
oh,
if your
definitely,
job might be in, yeah, you do.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think that we'd be like here in Pembrokeshire by the beach
Yeah.
near the sea, if it wasn't for MS, really. So.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just we kind of made the decision that we would just live for the day and stop kind of living out of a suitcase and
Yeah.
being stressed all the time, and
Yeah.
come here
So
and
you've slowed it down somewhat
yeah,
with the diagnosis. Yeah.
yeah, I've had to
Yeah.
really. So I don't know.
So what are your
Sorry.
plans for the future? How do you let the MS control your life in a
Oh
way
God, no,
that yeah,
no,
okay. All right.
no, I don't
So
want to do
you're
that.
still in that in between stage where
Yeah,
you
I mean,
don't
yeah,
know
I was
what
still,
you need to find your feet first and then
yeah, I
work out
guess,
what's going
yeah.
on.
I know.
Yeah.
I still need to sort of and just I kind of need to realize that I've got it, so I can't do
Mm.
everything like I used
No.
to do, but then at the same time just not let it hold me
Yeah.
back, I guess. And it's
Yeah.
finding
Yeah.
that balance, isn't it, Lee? It's difficult,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Have you
And
on any DMTs or DMDs, whatever you want to call it, like disease
oh,
modifying therapy?
yeah, so I'm on
Yeah.
Ocrevus at the moment, so
Ocrevus.
yeah,
That's good. That's good in a
mm,
way because for me, when I was training, I don't think they actually knew how to deal with it because they did put me on nothing,
oh, did they not?
absolutely nothing for 15 or so years.
God,
And
15
obviously,
years.
yeah, obviously the progression comes in.
Yeah,
So I think my last podcast had, somebody was telling me that after 15 or so years of natural progression will
yeah,
happen.
that's
And it'll just get worse. But if you're on a drug, that'll slow it down
yeah.
with the drug. So, but
Well,
with me, I didn't have anything.
God, that's not good, is it?
No.
Because I started on Tysabri
Mm-hmm.
actually, and then I don't know what I was expecting really. I was probably expecting too much, but I was saying to the neurologist at the time, I don't feel any better. In fact, I feel worse.
Yeah.
So because of my JC levels, they
Mm-hmm.
agreed that I could swap from that one over to Ocrevus anyway. So I did
Okay.
that fairly quickly.
Right.
But
did you ask them specifically for Ocrevus?
well,
Or?
that Archivist was originally the one that they suggested for me,
Okay.
but because of COVID, they said they weren't doing it at the time
Mm,
because they didn't know how it was
yeah,
going to
yeah,
affect the immune system or something
yeah.
like that, which is why I went on Tysabri. But then I think back last November they said they've reinstated it now, so I can go on it. So I did. I can't say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've had 2 infusions so far, and I
Right.
haven't noticed anything better, as in like I don't
No, you
feel
don't.
better. But I think from the MRIs,
I think you do notice that when you have the infusion, you have this shot of what do you call it? Just off my brain. Um, like it's like a boost that they give you, and it's that boost that you get
yeah,
that gives you a bit of a lift, and you 5 minutes.
yeah, normal.
You know, and after that it wanes off, and then you feel like crap again. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but well, I don't know whether I need a few more sessions to actually feel anything. But I had an MRI
Yeah,
again
yeah,
in April, and they said there was no new lesions, which is
good,
why they then
good.
wouldn't recommend me to have HSCT, because I think
Oh,
if
you're
I'd have,
thinking about it as well, yeah.
well, yeah, yeah,
Everybody, there's
because
a lot of people thinking about it, but
yeah,
the hospitals just won't let you because obviously I think it costs a hospital about £70,000.
well, I know we
Where
had this conversation quickly, but I don't really
yeah,
understand. It costs about 90 grand a year anyway, doesn't it? So
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
I've had that conversation with many people and said I can't understand it really. Why
yeah,
they wouldn't give it me, but they quite
yeah,
happily give me Ocrevus for the rest of my life. That's you know,
yeah,
I'm not the best mathematician in the world, but
yeah,
uh, I think Ocrevus at the minute is about $64,000 a year.
yeah. It's a lot.
And you want me to be on? I'm only 40, and you want me to be on that for the rest of my life? And they're like, well, and they didn't answer, and it's just like that don't work out. So
Cool. So
yeah,
you were diagnosed
but
at 25, were you?
I was diagnosed at I think it was 35,
Oh, okay.
35. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not been that long, but you know, actually no, you think you're right. I think it is 25, but
yeah,
yeah, obviously, like as you feel now, it's everything just a blur, and you just wonder what's going on.
yeah.
And
I know. It's really hard to know who to trust, I guess, sometimes, because you
yeah,
want to believe that your neurologists have your best intentions at heart, but then obviously
yeah, that's
people are just like, no, HSCT is the only way.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
They've I mean, it's not for me to say really, but
Yeah,
they're less likely to get HSET because they're still saying it's experimental. It's been
yeah.
going for years, so it's not experimental, and it clearly works, but they just won't give it people, you know.
Not with MS. No,
Yeah,
because they'll give it to people
I
with
think it's
cancer, but
Dr. Giovanni, Professor Giovanni
yeah,
in
yeah,
Barts in London. He's come out and said he thinks it should be the
yeah.
first line of defense, but we've not got there yet, so
No,
hopefully we will.
hopefully, hopefully one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just at the moment just doing everything that I can to try and um, keep symptoms away. I've started going to the oxygen
Yeah,
chamber
yeah. Oh, you do that?
times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, I
I
did.
mean,
I used to do that. Yeah, it's
oh
one of
yeah,
them
did you?
is an oxygen chamber. Yeah.
Did it help you?
Uh, yeah. Well, I don't know to be honest because I go in the oxygen chamber. It's not like I feel a sudden boost of energy. It just
Yeah,
uh, I don't know what it's doing, but it's obviously doing something. So I just keep doing it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Same.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing
It's
that.
supposed to slow it down, and I don't know what it's doing, but I just keep doing it, like I say. So.
Well, it's supposed to help with fatigue as well, they said to me, and bladder
Yeah,
issues.
yeah, that's
I
it.
mean, if
Yeah,
it just helps with that, I'd be happy, honestly.
yeah. I
I
don't know.
fatigue side of
Yeah,
things.
especially if you're
really,
training as well and you're doing
oh God,
what
it's so
you're
annoying.
running or whatever. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
an for me it was boxing. So I used to do boxing and MMA and things like that. And
yeah.
I found that after about 5 rounds, I'm good for nothing, and that wasn't right,
Oh, that's so annoying.
So because your body doesn't recover as well as it used to. So
Yeah. Yes, which is
that's
most
it.
annoying. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you still box now then? No.
No, I don't anymore because I'm secondary progressive now. But
Mm,
it's the my biggest problem is balance. So
yeah.
um, with like just trying to stand up and fight and hold
Mm,
yourself up as well is
yeah.
it don't work. So yeah, so you fall over quite quickly. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you just yourself, if you start swinging punches or whatever, you'll just overbalance. So
Yeah.
it's just I still do the exercises like lunges and squats and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But yeah, the stuff that I used to do, nothing like that.
Yeah.
No.
Can't do it.
So yeah, but
Oh well.
it does bother you. You do want to push yourself harder, but you can't. You just know.
You just can't.
So
Yeah.
I do stuff like press ups and things like that, but I know how far to push it. So if I do like I'll do 100 press ups, but it'll be in short bursts of 10. So it'll be 10, 10
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
10 rounds of 10, and do it that way and build up that like that. But I don't like I used to do 100 press ups uh, like off the bat and think nothing of it. But I can't do that now. Can't do it.
How long do you reckon it took you to get your head around having MS? And
Mm, I'm still getting my head around.
are you
So
still doing
I
it
don't think
like?
you ever do. I don't think you ever
And
do. But the main thing for me personally, it's just like it's like you just think, I'm not having that. So if somebody's I say, all right, you're giving me MS, that's fine. I'll
yeah.
do what I can to help it out. That's obviously
Yeah.
I'm going to Moscow because, like I say, the NHS won't give me HSCT, so
No.
fine, that's fine. I'll go to Moscow. So I'm going to Moscow on November 10th.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be good. But that obviously that's not everybody can do that. I understand that, but
Yeah.
it's
Well, fingers crossed.
it's about 40 grand to do that. So
Yeah.
no, I had to sell a house to do it. Just
Oh, did you?
yeah. So it's just it's I think it's just like when I was first diagnosed, I thought, well, what am I gonna do? You know,
Mm,
like for a job, well, can I start my job? I'm lucky in a way that if you like, that I've got a job where I'm stuck, so I'm not
yeah.
moving. It's not like I'm a brickie or anything like that. I really would have to quit work if that was the case. But
Yeah.
I'm okay at the minute. I'm working from home.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the same.
so
So
it's I don't. If you can you work from home?
yeah. So I
You
mean,
can.
my
Okay.
my work, they were really really good and supportive about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I've I've reduced hours
Yeah.
and kind of
Yeah.
living a
It's the
less.
same as me. Same as me,
Yeah.
man. So your work's really good about it, just like mine. And
Yeah.
that's about if you get that support, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. So you know,
mm.
thank
So
goodness. I guess.
what are your plans for the future?
Oh God, I'm just taking every day as a time. I think, Lee. I'm not sure.
Now
I
you
don't.
must have a. I think it's good personally to have a long-term goal.
Oh, do you
So
think?
even if you get MS, so what?
Mm,
You've got MS, but you've still got goals. You've still got
yeah.
you've
Yeah.
still.
I think. I mean, I'm trying not to worry about things. My physio said to me,
Mm,
you can worry like for 20 years about ending up in a wheelchair, but it might or might not happen. If it doesn't happen, you've
yeah,
spent all that time worrying about it
yeah,
anyway. So I'm kind of
yeah.
okay, fine. So,
But
you know,
I think if you're doing what you're doing, like you're doing even if you
yeah,
sat down doing sit-ups or press ups, whatever you're doing, you're still keeping active, in that
Yeah.
way. So if you're
Yeah.
still doing that, then I think that in itself will slow it down. Forget about
Yeah.
Tysabri or
Hopefully.
Ocrevus, you know.
Yeah, that's what they've said. If you can keep your muscles as strong as
Yeah,
possible, then you
definitely.
don't need to use your brain as much, do you,
No, no,
to
definitely.
use stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm just carrying on. Obviously, not squatting quite as heavy as I used to, but still doing it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You're
that's
still
good.
doing it. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
But
So it's,
yeah,
you know, just do what you can and inspire others as well. So because you and yourself, what you're doing, even though you got MS, is quite inspiring for others. Because you know you got
yeah,
MS, you're still running, doing marathons, whatever. Even if you
mm,
can't do marathons outright, you know you try and you know you're still
keep
partaking in it.
positive. Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah,
I really enjoy it as well. And I think you've got to do
good.
stuff
That's the main thing.
that you enjoy. If I
Yeah,
gave up doing that, that would be like MS taking something else from me. So I definitely
yeah,
not giving anything up. So in terms of me and sport and the future, whereas I don't think that I'll be running a PB in a marathon in under 3 hours 23. I will, having discovered this year that CrossFit have added adaptive categories into their programs. I entered as in the neurological section and neuromuscular, they call it in CrossFit, and I came first in the UK this year, first in Europe as well, and 8th globally. I came in the top 10, but unfortunately they're just taking the top 5 to the games in the US this year. But through that, I qualified for what's called the Wheelwad Games, also in the neuromuscular category, and came 5th globally, first in UK, first in Europe again, and that means I will be going forward to the finals, which I'm yet to hear, but I think is going to take place in the US in November this year. So that's really exciting, and next year obviously hope to get into the top 5 maybe for the CrossFit, and you know, I'll be working towards that for the next year. So my priorities have just shifted a little bit. So yeah, I understand I'm not going to be running fast, but I'll be doing other things that my not so new disability will allow. So it's exciting, and it's also really encouraging to watch people with all sorts of challenges in their life do these sports. So you know, you see people with lost limbs, people with you know, lots of different disabilities, but it's not, you know, not stopping them from achieving their dreams and doing what they want to do. So it's really inspiring, and I hope that people can learn by it, and hope that people can be inspired to do what they want, and that their disabilities won't stop them from doing that. So yeah. To the pub for a Friday night. My
good
husband's
on
already
you.
down there,
Yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. Like I say,
Half
thanks
pint.
for your time.
No, thank you so much, Lee. I really
Yeah.
appreciate
Okay.
it, and I'll speak to
Yeah.
you soon. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye
So,
bye. Oh, can I turn it off
bye.
now? Should I
Yeah.
turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.